Have you ever made a prayer board before? Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the process step by step on how this came together, including featuring a brand new printable available in the Creative Faith Etsy shop, and it is a printable prayer board. This idea came to me as we were going through some different items that we still had at my parents' house, including this little cork board. And I had used this cork board for my pin collection growing up. I still have all of the pins, but I decided to store them in a glass jar instead of this bulletin board. And so you could see all the little places where the sun had hit, 'cause it was on my wall in my bedroom at my parents' house for many years. So I thought, oh, it'd be really cool to not get rid of this, but to repaint it, freshen it up, and give it new life. And I had the idea of making a prayer board. I'm sure you've seen in different pictures and videos online, different people's war rooms that they often have in closets. And so I thought, oh, I could put this up in one of the closets of our house and use that as a little prayer room. But realistically, our closets were very full of a lot of things, and so I thought also, why would I put it in a closet when instead I could actually have it be on the wall in one of our bedrooms? And so I thought that was a better place to display this prayer board. And essentially, it is a place where you can put different things you're praying for. It's a different kind of version of a prayer journal, actually. So that's a little bit about the prayer board. So I started by painting the cork to give it a fresh look. And so I used this chalk paint that we got at Joann's because Joann's is closing, so we went there one last time, and I got this chalk paint, and then the paint was a cream color. And then I thought, oh, I can paint the border of it a different color, the border of the corkboard a different color so it kind of stands out more and just again has a fresh look. And so I was gonna just use regular paint, and then I thought, I think it'd be better if we painted it. So we covered the cork part with blue tape, which I maybe should have done this in a different order. But I covered the cork that I had painted and let dry. I did 2 coats on the chalk paint and the cork, and then covered it with blue tape, and then my husband helped me spray paint it, and then I waited for that to dry. This was a multiple day process of prepping this board to use. And then I really carefully tore up the blue tape, and I did end up needing to patch it in a couple spots, but all in all, it really worked out nicely. It was a much better idea to spray paint the frame versus using a paintbrush. So those are some good tips. And you see me here, I'm just gonna patch up a few little spots where the tape but pulled up the paint, but all in all, it turned out really nicely, and I was just very excited about how it was coming together. So instead of ending up at Goodwill, I was able to repurpose the old cork board from my childhood bedroom and turn it into a fresh new prayer board. So then I created the printable, and let me insert that footage. The printable will be linked in the description box below. It comes with everything you need to make your own prayer board. So there's 3 color schemes for the banner that you can print and hole punch. And then I made 12 different prompt cards, again in 3 different color schemes. And so you can write your prayers on these for different topics like missionaries you're praying for or health struggles you're giving to God. Also, if you don't have a cork board, I made these versions that look like a cork board. Then there's a smaller version of the border or banners. And then lastly, there was a page with the blank little cards. So if you wanted to write your own prompts or verses or things on them, you could. And then there are 3 that have full verses on them. So really love how this came together. I was going to end up doing the neutral one, but then I decided I wanted to do the purple color scheme. And I really love just how this all came together, and I really hope that you will pick up this printable in the description box below in the Creative Faith Etsy shop. It is really awesome for using for your prayers. And two, I wanted to mention the first Thursday in May is National Day of Prayer, and I have a free printable in the Creative Faith Freebie Hub that you can use for prayer journaling. And I'll have the link to join the freebie hub in the description box below. And so you can use that also to make a prayer board as well, in addition to the prayer board printable. And so, anyways, I wanted it to kind of have a prayer focus around here for National Day of Prayer coming up so soon, the time I'm filming this. So I also wanted to print photos to go along on the prayer board. So what I did was I printed some of my family, some of my husband's family, a couple of the ministries we support, and my jobs as well too. So printed a Creative Faith logo. I'm also working for a couple at church, and so I printed a photo with them, and then my job at the church, and then I also printed the church in the Dominican Republic that my brother-in-law is a pastor of, and my Bible study group. So I just had a lot of fun picking some different pictures to use as, again, kind of these prayer prompts and kind of jumping off points for my prayer time. So now I can stand in, it's our I call it the third bedroom. We have a three-bedroom house, and so we have our master bedroom, and then we have an office. And then the third bedroom is we're trying to turn it into kind of a guest bedroom, because my husband's family, part of his family, is coming to visit soon. But I thought it would be neat to have this prayer board on the wall, so that way, I can brush my teeth and go stand there and pray over all of these different things. So I am making the banner now. I have a tiny little hole punch, and so I used that for punching the holes on either side of the prayer board banner. And I had hoped to put this in like one straight line, which is how I strung it on this little twine. I also wish I would have used regular string and not the twine, because the twine was pretty thick and I kept having to cut it. I should have put like tape on it to make it kind of like a needle, but anyways, I just didn't quite love how it turned out. I didn't have any other kind of more thin basic string, which I probably should get. So I had to keep cutting the ends, and it didn't lay super, super flat on the actual bulletin board itself. But anyways, I just pursued on and kept on stringing those little banners, and I printed everything also on cardstock. And my favorite place to get cardstock is Walmart, so that's what I did there. And then now I am going through the prompt cards, and I am pulling out some of them to write on. So one of them I wanted to put on was my word of the year, because quite honestly, I forgot what it was. So I thought I need to keep this present mind in front of my mind so I can remember to be praying for peace this year for me, for my family, and for the world, and for my heart. So I was excited to have this on one of the little cards. So that was one of the ones I pulled. And there's, again, 12 different prompts in 3 different color schemes. So you could use the purple or the brown or the mint, and kind of pick your color scheme for what you want to use for your prayer board. A few of the other ones talk about, like, which one's this one that I'm doing? Oh, dreams and desires that I'm giving to the Lord. So I was hoping and praying over different kind of areas of my life that that were dreams and desires of mine that I want to be reminded to give to God. I also pulled the card that talked about missionaries that we support or are praying for. And so I put New Hope on there, and I put my sister-in-law's ministry. It's a pediatric ministry in the Dominican Republic that are doing some very beautiful things. So I listed those down and just had a really sweet time kind of going through all, I didn't pick all, I think I picked 4 or 5 of the square cards to use for my prayer board. And the neat thing too, if you don't have a bulletin board, you could also hole punch these and put them on like a jump ring and use it that way as little kind of prayer cards, or you could even print them out and glue them or tape them into a prayer journal as well too, or put them at the front of your Bible as like a bookmark for different ways to pray over people. So once I got all the pieces ready, I moved in to the third bedroom, and my husband had helped me hang the cork board, and it looks so good in there with the cream base and the black border frame. And then I have clear push pins that I'm using, and it really took me quite a while to get the title of this figured out. And of course, I didn't need to like mess with it quite as much as I did, but I just wanted it to look nice and be a beautiful kind of place to have all the things I'm praying for displayed. So I had again wanted it to be all on one, but the words, the banner was just slightly too big for the size of my corkboard. Of course, you could find a bigger corkboard than the one I have. I ended up cutting it and putting it on 2 levels, which turned out nicely as well too. So it's just fun to play around with the arrangement of things. And I just used some old push pins that I had for years, because I have quite often used push pins for displaying my different things in my apartment and in my bedroom growing up and classroom and different office spaces. So I got the title up there, and then I put up the 5 different cards that I used, and then I went and put the photos that correlated with the cards around them. So I put some family prayer requests and I put family around it. The one for the missionaries, I put some pictures of me with those different people around it. And so I tried to kind of put the images with the photos I printed with the different prompt cards. And I am a really visual learner, which is probably why I love, prayer journaling, Bible journaling. It really helps me to connect things. So I really love having the images on the prayer board. And then I also have a prayer journaling printable that I released last year, and it correlates and matches with the free National Day of Prayer printable, as well as a physical prayer journal that I have online. And so I will have all those resources linked down below if you want to check them out, all the different prayer journaling things I've mentioned in here. And I hope this video gave you some ideas on how you can make your own prayer board. Be sure to subscribe to the Creative Faith YouTube channel for some more prayer content this week leading up to National Day of Prayer on the first Thursday in May. And I hope you will give this video a big thumbs up and check out the links in the description box below. And I will see you next time. Bye, friend!